Hey YouTube, welcome to my review of the Edge 540 Matthias Dolderer by Hype. I just recently got this plane from modelhobby.de. Check them out, they're really cool. They pack the planes really well, they double pack the plane, so the plane comes inside its original box and which is inside another box. So it's very unlikely you get a damaged plane when you order one from them. So I really encourage you guys to check them out and buy from them. Okay, moving on to the plane. Like I said, I just recently bought this plane. Currently, it's going for 119 euros, which I think is pretty adequate for the type of plane it is and the quality and its characteristics. So it's good in terms of price, and I'll let you know what I think in terms of everything else. So let's start with the build. The build was pretty easy and fast. You just need to screw the front landing gear in place. The wing is one piece, so you don't have to join the wing in the middle. You just slide the wing through the fuselage, and then you have some plastic lockers to secure the wing in its place. You put the propeller in, screw the spinner. The tail section is pretty much like most other foam planes of this kind, so you just connect or you join the rudder with the horizontal stabilizer, and they go through the fuselage, and then there's a plastic piece that holds the whole assembly in place. Let me see if I can show you. There, that white piece behind the push rod, that's the piece that holds the rudder and vertical stabilizer in place. Then you just connect the control horn and push rod for the rudder and horizontal stabilizer, and that's it. The wings come, the ailerons come already connected to the servos, and you just need to connect your receiver. So here you can see my receiver. Everything's pretty loose. I haven't bothered to tape the receiver and the satellite anywhere, because I think with the canopy it holds it in place very tightly and it won't move anywhere. So for now I'm just being lazy, and I'm not bothering to secure the receiver anywhere, because I think it's pretty well fixed as it is, and I'm kind of a lazy guy. So moving on, that pretty much covers the assembly. The assembly is pretty easy. The only thing I missed was some labels and the servo wires, so I had to guess which wire was from the rudder, which wire was from the horizontal stabilizer, the elevator, and I had to test them out, connecting one by one on my receiver, because there are no labels. Some I can guess because one comes from the wing, so that one's from the aileron. The other one comes from the front, so it's from the speed controller. But the rudder and the elevator I had to guess and test them out, see which one's which. So it would just take a couple of labels to make it fine. But it's a small complaint, I guess. This plane has something I've never seen before, which is the spinner actually bolts on to the motor. You can see it here, but these two screws, okay, there's one here and there's one on the other side. These two screws go all the way to the motor. So the motor has some kind of metal base, and you fix the spinner directly onto the motor frame. Also, the propeller has two very little pins, plastic pins on the back, which go again on that metal mounts on the motor, so the propeller doesn't have any kind of movements. You just connect the pins to the holes and then lock the nut, put the spinner on, and the propeller isn't going anywhere. You can use some other propellers, it's no trouble. I've tried some other propellers which don't have those plastic pins to go on the motor. And if you tighten the nut pretty good, I mean, as you would usually do, the propeller isn't going anywhere either. So you can use some other propellers, not just the original or the standard alone. Up here at the front, you've got the battery compartment, which is also pretty unique. I think it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, it has a problem, which is you cannot adjust your CG with the battery. So if you're using a very light battery or a very heavy battery and that affects your CG, you're gonna have to balance the plane, adding weight on the back or on the front, depending on where the CG goes. I think my CG is a little bit forward. Well, I'm not sure if it's a little bit forwards than it's recommended. They say the CG should be 6 centimeters from the edge of the wing. I think mine is a little bit further back, but still, when I'm flying the plane, I feel it should be a little bit further back still. But like I said, I cannot adjust it with the battery because the battery can only be inserted in one place, and that's it. So if I want to change the CG, I have to add weight in the back to push the CG a little further back. The wing, like I said before, it's one piece. You don't have to join the wing in the middle. It comes one wing outside of the box. You can check my unboxing video. There should be a link popping up for you to check the unboxing, and you can see it's one piece wing. You don't have to join the wing in the middle. I thought that would be a good sign. That would say that the wing is pretty rigid, but I found that the wing kind of flex a lot under hard maneuvers. So if you push the plane hard, you can actually see the wings flex a lot in the air. But like I said in the beginning, considering its price, it's okay. You can't expect a plane in this price range to be an excellent 3D plane, very precise, very stiff, very competent. I mean, for this price, 119 euros, practically ready to fly, just add your own receiver. It's adequate, okay? I won't say it's pretty good, it's adequate. You can't expect much from a foam cheap plane. So I guess I'm complaining too much for what it is. In terms of flight, I made in this plane last weekend. You can check out the video. There should be a link popping up. My thoughts on the Maiden were that it flies pretty well. The power is pretty good for this plane. I use a 3-cell Turnigy 2200 milliamp with a C rating of 20, if I'm not mistaken, and it handled pretty well. The flights last an average of 10 minutes easily, which I think it's pretty good for a 3D plane. So 10 minutes. Some of my batteries I pushed them a little further and they lasted for 12, 13 minutes. So you should expect at least 10 minutes of flight time with 2200 milliamp battery. Power, like I said, was pretty good. I felt the plane had more than enough power to do every kind of stunt. The plane didn't seem to suffer from any kind of stability or how can I say this? It handles like you, if you're used to, or if you've flown some kind of 3D plane or some kind of Edge or Extra or some kind of plane like this. The plane handles pretty much like any other plane of this kind. I found it a little tricky to land at the beginning because once I cut the power down, the plane wanted to go nose down pretty aggressively, so I had to keep on adjusting the elevator. And then, again, I think it has to do with my CG. If the CG was a little bit a little further back, I think that would be fine. But as it is, the plane wants to dive a little bit too much for my taste. But I got used to it, and I did some pretty nice landings. Most of my maiden flight video revolves around my landing, so you can check them out, and you'll see that after one or two, the plane was landing pretty perfectly. I think it's a very nice 3D plane, even without being on very aggressive rates. The plane responds pretty well. It's a pretty light plane. The plane weighs in about just a whisker over a kilo. It's a pretty light plane. So even with low rates and not that great angles on the surfaces, you will get it to snap and roll pretty nicely. Rudder has good authority too. So it's a pretty decent 3D plane, despite that it flex a little bit and well, quite a bit, and it's not that precise or as precise, or not as near as precise as a balsa plane, but for what it is, I think it's a pretty nice package. It's a pretty nice plane for the price. It will for sure bring you some very fun flights for such an affordable plane. Let's talk now about my complaints, my dislikes about this plane. Well, again, the battery compartment, I think it's clever in one way. It's pretty secure. There's no way the battery's coming out of its place and messing up the CG. But again, the other side of the coin is that it won't allow you to adjust the CG. The wheel in the back, let me just show you. The wheel is pretty weak, and you cannot adjust the angle. I mean, only if you bend the metal, but it comes as it is from the factory. So if it's slightly off from the rudder, you're going to have to bend it. It's nice if you're landing kind of hard, because it's like it has a pretty good it's like a shock absorber, you know, and it will dampen the impact from the landing, and I suppose the plane won't jump up again on you. But still, I mean, maybe it's a little bit too weak, you know. Look at that. It may be a little too much when you're trying to do turns on the ground. It's kind of tricky. One thing I want to tell you about this plane, which I haven't, is that it looks pretty good. I mean, I've been looking for a 3D plane that runs on 3S batteries for quite a while now, and I'm pretty happy that I found this plane. It's a pretty desperately good looking plane. The attention to detail is pretty awesome. I mean, check this out. It goes even to the window in here on the side, and even the window beneath it. Check this out. Huh? That white thing in there is that plastic lock for the wing. There's one here that you can see, and there's another one which you can't see, which is under the canopy. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to sum up this whole review. Don't forget to check out my maiden flight. Don't forget to check the unboxing, and subscribe, because you'll be seeing some more videos of this plane and others pretty soon. Bye!